Tonight, we report on the celebration of life for Big Bend volleyball coach Stephen Duncan, and the annual Ag Appreciation Parade draws large crowds in Moses Lake. Let's take a glance at our Weather Center forecast.
Here in the Weather Department, we're watching a very wet situation developing across our area of the country. In fact, several inches of rain possible in some areas. Details coming up.
I'm Bethany Jenks, and we have all of this and much more on iFiber One News.
From the iFiber One HD studio here in the heart of the Columbia Basin, this is iFiber One News, your #1 source for local news, sports headlines, and our very own Weather Center forecast covering the entire Columbia Basin. This is iFiber One News, and it starts now.
People living in the Moses Lake School District are being asked to approve building a second high school after the board agreed to move forward with a bond measure in the February special election. Reporter Devin Higgins has more.
The bond committee did give us two options. One was $105 million, one was $125 million.
The Moses Lake School District Board of Education held a special meeting on Thursday night with a big decision to be made.
I would make a motion to approve bond resolution 2014-12 for the amount of $98 million to be run on February 10th.
The board's unanimous decision was the cheapest of the three options they considered with the bond committee. The other two were in excess of $100 million and called for a new elementary school to be built along with a new high school and updating the current high school. Board Vice President Kevin Donovan explained the passing of Initiative 1351 and other factors caused them to take the new elementary school off the table until a time where the state could assist with funding. Superintendent Michelle Price said the rebounding economy and district-wide cost-saving measures will hopefully convince residents to support the bond.
I want to be optimistic. I know our community knows the need. We've had to make some significant changes this year in our high school schedule because we didn't fit in the building. And so it's been a significant impact on everybody to see that change. And we run a master schedule from 7 in the morning till 5 at night to accommodate the numbers of students in our school, in our high school. So we really, the need is there. The other piece is that, you know, and my campaign chair was just leaving, she says, what does that do for the year-round schedule? And our board did make a decision in August of 2013 that absent additional facilities that we would need to move to a year-round schedule in the year of 16-17. And this gives us an opportunity to have the community decide, you know, do we want to pay for building facilities, because it's the only way we can build facilities is having the community support to do that, or would they rather do a schedule change that is a different kind of impact?
The fate of the bond will be decided along with a new $52 million maintenance and operation levy on February 10th. In Moses Lake, Devin Higgins for iFiber One News.
A 15-year-old boy was arrested at Moses Lake High School Thursday morning for a warrant and for reportedly carrying a weapon. Police found the teenager at the school and arrested him on a felony warrant for burglary in the second degree and possession of more than 40 grams of marijuana, according to Moses Lake police records released on Friday. When they were searching him during the arrest, officers allegedly located a piece of metal sharpened to a dagger in his backpack. A report is being made for the Grant County Prosecutor's Office about the teenager's reported possession of a dangerous weapon. Habitat for Humanity of Moses Lake hosted its 20th annual Festival of Trees auction this past weekend. Reporter Jeff Chu was there and has the story.
Some of the most beautiful Christmas trees in Moses Lake were elegantly exhibited Friday at the community center. Thousands of dollars raised during the 20th annual Festival of Trees event go toward Habitat for Humanity of Greater Moses Lake. Donations will help build a 14th home. It is the nonprofit group's largest fundraiser. Tammy Roloff, whose family now owns the 12th Habitat for Humanity home built near Moses Lake, now volunteers as an organizer for the Festival of Trees.
This year's recipient and I actually did a tree together for Habitat Families Giving Back.
11 trees were auctioned off at the Festival of Trees banquet to raise money for the next Habitat for Humanity home in Moses Lake. A room of donated silent auction gifts were also displayed at the event. The organization provides volunteers who help finance and assist needy families in building new homes. Family members put in hundreds of hours of sweat equity into the homes by helping to build them. I'm Jeff Chu for iFiber One News.
Big Bend Community College celebrated the life of volleyball coach Stephen Duncan on Friday. He was just 25 years old when he died. Reporter Cameron Probert has the story.
It was an emotional Friday afternoon at Big Bend Community College as friends and family gathered to celebrate the life of volleyball coach Steve Duncan. Duncan passed away in late November at the age of 25. Duncan grew up in Seattle and was hired by Big Bend as head volleyball coach in May, after previously working as an assistant coach at Central Washington University. Kim Jackson, the college's director of student activities, worked closely with Duncan. He worked as an assistant for Jackson during the fall quarter. She reflected on the first time she met Duncan back in May.
The first time we got together in May and officially met him, he told us that this is where he needed to be, and he was so excited to be here. He said, "I feel blessed with the team that we have."
Duncan was remembered for being more than just a coach by his colleagues and his team. Rebecca Egan said Duncan always pushed the team to be the best they could be, on and off the court. His positive attitude towards life carried over to his team.
He never failed to tell us how much he loved us, and he always said how much he believes in us. If we stay together, nothing will happen that we can't face or overcome. And today, standing in front of you shows how much strength he really gave us to stay together. We were all so blessed to have him as an awesome coach. He changed us all as players, and as awesome as that is, he changed us as people. He never failed to tell us how much he loved every one of us as people and as players, and it was unconditional.
For iFiber One News, this is Cameron Probert reporting.
Anyone that would like to share memories of Duncan can post them on the college's website at bigbend.edu. Now we take a look at people being sought by law enforcement.
This is Sheriff Tom Jones with the Grant County Sheriff's Office. Each of the people you see here have a warrant for their arrest. If you see any of these people, we ask you do not attempt to detain or apprehend them, but call us at 509-762-1160 or send us an email at crimetips@co.grant.wa.us. If the person is presenting a danger, call 911. With your help, we can bring these people to justice and make our community safer.
We'll be right back after this.
Attention business owners. The deadline is fast approaching to advertise in the 2015 edition of the Moses Lake Local Book. Don't be the only business left out. In print or online, it's the best way to reach your customer when they're ready to buy. Call today to place your ad by calling 877-738-9829 or by visiting us online at www.statewideyp.com. The Moses Lake Local Book Telephone Directory. Simply the best advertising.
At Moses Lake Community Health Center, we have had the privilege to serve the local communities since 1978.
What I like about working at this clinic more than any other clinic that I've worked at is the patient care. With the patient care team that we've assembled, it allows us to take care of as many facets of the patient and their family's needs.
Please take the opportunity to experience the high-quality care provided at our clinics.
Hi everybody, meteorologist Don Morelli with you here on iFiber Channel 1 News weather on this Monday. Your forecast, of course, brought to you by Bud Cleary Toyota dealers. Toyota, let's go places. Well, unfortunately, if you're going places, you have a lot of clouds, fog, drizzle, rain, and really pretty much a soggy, not only 24 hours, but the entire week is looking ugly. So again, keep that in mind. We're looking for the fog and drizzle overnight tonight, most nights actually, morning hours. And some bands of very moderate rains from Tuesday through Thursday. Not all the time heavy rains, we get every 12 hours or so. But then on the horizon, sunshine and a dry weekend. Ooh, that looks good. 42 and 35, the extremes today here in the city with a trace of precipitation. Of course, that water bucket's getting heavier with some precipitation out there right now. And we're looking at Moses Lake. Pretty similar story in the lower 40s though, right near freezing this morning. And again, a little bit of a trace of precipitation. And again, we're looking for the fog around the area. The reason the temperature and the dew point's pretty close. Look at that, 38 and 37. And of course, radar is picking up showers around. And A weak system moving across tonight, but moderate to heavier intensity precipitation coming across the next several days. In fact, I'll just put it in motion. You'll just get the feeling every 12 to 18 hours a band of moderate precipitation will be coming our way. Now again, the travel problems, basically wet roads, hydroplaning. Watch out for areas of fog, especially in the valleys, and of course on the mountaintops, the clouds. Speaking of mountaintops, the snow levels are way up there, so we're not looking for much in the way of any snow troubles. Looking for water troubles. Look at this, significant precipitation amounts from 1 inch into our area, crossing the Cascades, down into the Seattle area, the Puget Sound, 3, 4, 5, 6 inches of rain expected, and that's only through Wednesday. So more specifically for the state forecast, again, mostly cloudy skies area-wide. A few peaks of sun once a band moves on through, but again, I'm worried about the consistent low clouds and fog that might be tough to burn out. One thing you do notice, though, temperatures are above freezing throughout the state. And again, even here in the Columbia Basin, we're looking for mid-40s in some cases. So again, it's liquid, not frozen, which is good for this time of the year. But with time, the precipitation may change to some snow in the mountains, because I just want to point this out to you. The snow levels will be dropping as we go through the mid to latter portion of the work week. Now, in our area, we'll dry out. The mountains might not totally dry out. And look at the weekend, Saturday, Sunday. Look at the temperatures, very nice, seasonal. But again, until at least Thursday, keep the umbrellas handy. It's going to be wet, and watch the mornings. Could be some rather soupy traveling problems with low visibilities. Of course, keep it here. Sports is coming up next. Again, nowhere else to go.
You don't need me to tell you that 4 and all-wheel drive time is on its way. But maybe you didn't know your local Toyota dealers are gearing up for the season with special savings on our top-selling 4 and all-wheel drive models. From tough Tundra trucks to our best-selling CUV RAV4 or Venza, the perfect blend of all-wheel drive with safety and style. Plus many others. The bottom line is exceptional 4 or all-wheel drive savings just in time for winter. For full details on these and other savings, visit any of your Inland Empire Toyota dealers. Toyota, let's go places.
Searching for that perfect place to settle down? Whether you're looking for an elegant single-story, spacious two-story, or a custom home on acreage, Aho Construction can aid your decision with a streamlined production process that saves time, money, and natural resources. Compare us to other builders and see for yourself what advantages you can get by choosing an Aho home. Our philosophy is that we do things right the first time around. Start planning your dream house today with Aho Construction. Call 509-766-1366.
The Ephrata girls basketball team kicked off the season with a big win over arch rival Quincy. Reporter Sean Wells is on hand for the action.
It was Quincy hosting Ephrata in a CWAC basketball showdown. Ephrata jumped out to an early lead and never looked back. Harley Venata had 9 points and 10 rebounds for the Tigers, who took a 33-9 lead into halftime. In the second half, the Tigers kept rolling. Freddie Ham had 6 steals as the Tiger defense overpowered Quincy. Ephrata knocked off the Jacks 61-16. Tiger head coach Aaron Ross was pleased with his team's performance.
I thought we ran our transition really well. We rebounded well, and just it was good to get out and play and run, and saw the speed we have, which is really nice.
Coach Ross thinks his team is starting to mix well together.
We did see some good things out of some kids that were sort of new to our team. Brooke Stutzman, I thought, did a nice job in there. Hit some shots. I think, Caitlin Ostrowski had a nice game. Freddie Ham had a great game. Our guards were really good.
For Fiber One News, Sean Wells.
The Lady Tigers dropped a hard-fought 64-52 contest on the road to Kashmir Saturday to level their record at 1-1. Katie Hillard led the Ephrata attack with 18 points. Maddie Youngers added 14 points and 7 boards, and Harley Venata finished with 8 points and 7 rebounds. The Tiger boys started off their season with back-to-back wins. Josh Johnson knocked down 15 points, and Ephrata came back to beat Quincy 45-35. The Tigers got off to a rough start offensive-wise and trailed 23-19 at the half. Ephrata hung 26 second-half points on the board and played shutdown defense to win it. Gunnar Blankenship added 8 points for the Tigers, and Justin DeHogue finished with 6. Ephrata then followed up the win with a 78-58 victory at Kashmir to move to 2-0 in the standings. Blankenship drained 8 trays for a game-high 28 points. Lloyd Burleson added 15, and Austin Sandberg came off the bench for 9. Jesse Loretta drained 25 points. McKenna Walker added 23, and the Moses Lake girls raced past Kennewick 81-43. The Chiefs gave up 4 quick points to the Lions. Moses Lake went on a 43-16 run to go up 47-20 at the half. The Chiefs stretched their lead to 67-26 after 3 quarters were in the books. Moses Lake followed up the lopsided win with a 91-36 shellacking of Hanford in the Tri-Cities. Jesse Loretta led the way with 28 points. Walker added 19, and Jamie Loretta finished with 15. Moses Lake moves to 3-0 with the wins. Cesar Sandoval knocked down 21 points to lead the boys to a 74-56 win over Kennewick. Moses Lake stumbled out of the gate down 16-10 midway through the first quarter. The Chiefs finally started hitting some shots and took a 34-30 lead at the break. The teams traded buckets in the third quarter that had Moses Lake up 50-45. The Chiefs then went on a 24-11 run in the fourth quarter to pull out the come-from-behind win. Moses Lake piggybacked a 71-68 victory at Hanford to improve to 2-0 on the early season. Sandoval came up huge with 23 points and 19 boards. Derek Martinez hit 5 of 7 shots from three-point range to finish with 15. Tyson Carstetter added 14 points and 9 rebounds. The Chiefs swim and dive team eked out a half-point win over Wenatchee to capture the Moses Lake Sprints meet. The Chiefs had a handful of swimmers set state qualifying times. Brendan Eslick led the way with fast times in the 100 and 200 freestyle. Madison Molitor qualified in the 50 and 100 free. Zach Johnston set state times in the 200 individual medley and 50 free. The 200 free relay team of Eslick, Johnston, Molitor, and Mateo Mija qualified for state as well. We'll be right back after this.
Just when I thought the blizzard couldn't get any better, DQ put the blizzard inside a waffle cone. This is mind-blowing. So when DQ asked me how I would tell the world, I said... Sounds better in Italian.
Pretty impressive, Liz. Any blizzard, like confetti cake, now in a fresh-baked waffle cone. This is fan food, not fast food.
Bud Clary Ford Honda is proud to be an automotive leader in our area. Since opening our doors over 54 years ago, we have kept a firm commitment to our customers. We offer a wide selection of vehicles and hope to make the car buying experience as quick and hassle-free as possible. You can trust that we will get you into the car or truck of your dreams. Bud Cleary has an experienced and reliable service and parts department that is open extra hours to help fit our customers' hectic schedules. Come for a test drive today at 1200 South Pioneer Way. We are a proud supporter of Columbia Basin Athletics.
Our spotlight story tonight is about the 20th Annual Ag Appreciation Parade that made its way through downtown Moses Lake and some of the people that enjoyed it. Reporter Jeff Chu has the details.
Warmer winter weather attracted a large crowd of families celebrating Friday night in downtown Moses Lake. Hundreds lined 3rd Avenue to enjoy this year's Agriculture Appreciation Parade. The event is sponsored by Moses Lake Business Association. With temperatures in the mid to high 30s, it was far warmer than last year's bone-chilling temperatures and winds that deterred many. Jasmine de Beaumont, Moses Lake Business Association Executive Director, said last year's parade entries raised more than $2,000. The money goes back into the Business Association's downtown business support projects.
It supports a lot of the beautification projects we do, like the flower pots that FFA does for us.
De Beaumont described this year's attractions.
We have a lot more entertainment going on down on 3rd, which is always fun to see. We brought back our Toys for Tots with the Marine Corps here locally, which is wonderful because they can donate towards local charities here in Moses Lake. We also have warmer weather, which is a big hit with us this year because last year was a little cold. So we're happy to have that for sure. Dutch Oven Society is back with us this year because it's nice and warmed up, and they're keeping our parade, groups and stuff, which they've done in years past. So we're happy to have it back.
said a number of entries made the event more fun to those attending.
We have about 35, including equestrian. We did squeak in some people last minute, which, you know, the more the merrier with these type of events. And since it's our 20th, we're happy to have that many people involved.
The big entries include farm vehicles decked out in their best of season's greetings.
I say we have probably at least 10 or so, non-commercial and commercial. Tractors, combines, a few other, you know, smaller rigs and stuff too, but most of the bigger stuff.
I'm Jeff Chu for iFiber One News.
We will be right back after this.
As the summer has quickly approached, we all enjoy the family barbecue and kids playing in the sprinkler. However, many drivers are distracted and are seldom focusing on what's important while driving. It could be the random phone call, adjusting your stereo, or the lip gloss check in the mirror. Here at Farmers Insurance, we make sure you understand what coverages fit your needs. The more you know, the better you can plan. My name is Cheryl Kono, and I'm your local Farmers Insurance agent.
We are farmers. Are your kids rough on your furniture? Things looking a little run down? Then come to More Furniture in Ephrata and we can help get things back in order. We have all the top name brands made with strong quality support, including Sealy Posturepedic mattresses, because whatever you do in bed, Sealy supports it. The next time your furniture is in need of some replacing, stop into More Furniture in Ephrata, locally owned and trusted for over 100 years.
Welcome back. Ephrata officials are looking for help to improve city services. The City Council approved spending $1,500 to join a sewer funding coalition. The lobbying group, which is comprised of several small cities across the state, wants the state to restore funding for sewer projects. City Administrator Wes Crago said the small cities are affected by the cuts because they aren't able to increase rates enough to pay for infrastructure. They rely on state assistance to fund the projects. The cities of Shelton and Port Angeles began a coalition in the beginning of November to ask the state to restore funding to programs such as the Public Works Assistance Account. They want to hire a lobbyist to ask the state to restore the funding. In Northwest news, the federal government contends that new Hanford cleanup deadlines sought by the state of Washington would require an extra $18 billion over the next 14 years. The U.S. Department of Justice says that it is not realistic and would jeopardize other cleanup projects at Hanford. The Tri-City Herald reports both the Justice Department and the state of Washington filed court documents on Friday in the federal lawsuit the state has filed to speed up the cleanup of Hanford, the nation's most polluted nuclear weapons production site. The state criticized the government's management of Hanford. It urged the court to require tighter oversight of Hanford's leaky underground nuclear waste tanks and a plant being built to treat that waste. One man has perfected the art of being a Boy Scout. He joined the Cub Scouts in 1939 and never left. Reporter Angela Greenwood has the story.
Otis Lentz is a man of many passions. He's a husband, a grandpa, a retired school administrator, but his biggest passion, and these pieces of it, are hanging here on this wall.
My International Scouting Award.
A shrine, if you will, spanning 3/4 of a century. That's how long the 83-year-old has been a Boy Scout.
It feels good. There's very few that make that goal.
A goal in the making since 1939. Lentz was just 8 years old when he became a Cub Scout.
It has helped me.
Lentz says the organization pulled him out of a slump in his teens when he was getting into trouble and skipping school. So for the last 75 years, he's been working to repay it.
My payback is doing the things I do now for the youth and the program. This here is just one.
Lentz has earned hundreds of patches and dozens upon dozens of certificates and awards. His favorite, the Eagle Scout Award, which he calls the pinnacle of scouting.
Only 1% of the boys that go into the program get it.
Only 1%?
Only 1%.
And then there's the people he's met, the hundreds of lifelong friendships he's made with folks across the globe.
We send out, my wife and I send out over 250 Christmas cards a year. Over a year. Sometimes more, sometimes a little less. It all depends. But it's over 250. And we get back probably...
Will you add one more to that list?
You? Sure.
During his time, Lentz has worked his way up the ranks as a scout, of course, a scout master, an activities director, and now a board member for the Greater Yosemite Council. And at the end of the year, he'll receive his much-deserved 75 years of service pin.
It's an honor. It's an honor.
But he won't stop there. He says his ultimate goal is to live until he's at least 108.
At that point in time, I'll have passed my 100th year in scouting. And there's no one at that point has ever done that.
Lentz says the Boy Scouts of America has been life-defining, which makes it easy to dedicate a life of service.
That's what I started out to do, and I believe and I will continue doing that until my last day.
That's going to do it for us here at iFiber One News. We want to thank you for watching, and we'll see you again tomorrow.